Your family, your health, our passion. This is Family Practice with Dr. Jeffrey Foxx, sponsored by Family Practice Associates of Lexington, PSC. Visit us at fpalex.com and like us on Facebook.
Welcome to this episode of Family Practice. I'm Dr. Jeff Foxx. It's that time of year. It's time to get ready to go back to school, and we're going to help you. Are you a little forgetful? Think you have Alzheimer's disease? We've got a neurologist here. Arthritis? We've got a rheumatologist from the Arthritis Center of Lexington. All that, and we're going to stuff the bus and tell you how you can volunteer with Fayette County Schools. My first guest to start off with is my daughter and my colleague from Family Practice Associates, Dr. Amanda Foxx. Now, you do internal medicine, old people, and you do pediatrics, young people. And the pediatric people are getting ready to go back to school. And part of that's a back to school visit, back to school exam. What happens and why do it?
Yeah, so the back to school exam, it's a well child check or a checkup. So it's a lot of just checking off normal growth and development, making sure that your kid is growing appropriately, that they're hitting all of their developmental milestones, that the last year in school went well, make sure that they're ready to go for the coming school year.
You mentioned growth and development, and sometimes you address obesity and part of that, which is a problem with all the kids at school.
Right, so that's become an increasing problem actually over the pandemic that we've seen. And it's not something that we want kids to worry too much about, but it's something that we have to talk to parents about. And it's really about just making sure that we're not having too much sedentary time, that we're eating a lot of vegetables, drinking a lot of water, trying to cut out sugary beverages, trying to cut out sugary snacks, things like that.
As part of the exam, you also do a little concern about vision and hearing?
Yes, so we do kind of a screening vision exam that we have a kind of a computer in our office that we do. Before you go to kindergarten, you do need to see an optometrist or an ophthalmologist for a formal eye exam. You know, we don't want kids to be squinting to see, the front of the room or anything at school. So, yeah, and we also want to make sure that they're hearing okay. Everybody gets screened for hearing when they're first born, but we want to make sure that nothing has changed.
Okay. Now, one thing that occurs that is a check of immunizations. Now, we've got a graphic of immunizations, and there is a lot of immunizations. You get them when you're young, and there's just a whole bunch. The page up there is just the first page. We didn't put them all up. But what are some immunizations that you might want to be concerned about when you're getting ready to go back to school? Is there anything new, or are there some old ones we need to pay attention to?
Yeah, so you get a lot of shots when you're a baby, right? The first 6 months is kind of the intensive period. And then you get a little break, and then the big thing is you need shots before you go to kindergarten. You need boosters of things. So it's things that your child has already had when they were little. So if they did okay with their baby shots, they're probably going to do okay with their kindergarten shots. And then they get another big break, and before they go to 6th grade, they need some booster shots. That has a new shot. You get a meningitis shot and a tetanus shot before you go to 6th grade. And we also talk about getting the Gardasil shot or the HPV shot. But the big thing to be thinking about for school this year is to get the COVID vaccine. It's approved for kids all the way down to age 6 months, which is the same as the flu shot. School's going to be open in a couple weeks. This is really the time to start thinking about it.
Now, you mentioned COVID, so are there some concerns going back to school with COVID?
Yeah, so this summer has not been a smooth road with COVID. We've had ups and downs, we've had outbreaks, and most of the time in the summer we don't have viral illnesses that outbreak. We have, but it's not been as common as this summer. So we're worried that we're going to have more outbreaks when all the kids go back to school. So we just want to try to prevent that as much as we can.
And prevention is vaccine, and what about masks?
Vaccines, and so masks, I think, are still a really good tool. It's going to be up to your school district and everybody's personal decision if they want to wear a mask at school, but I think that it's a good tool certainly to use during high transmission times, in indoor settings, if your child is not immunized, if they are immunocompromised. I think they still really have a lot of good utility.
Okay, real quickly, because we're about run out of time here, I call it my sex, drugs, and rock and roll speech that I talk to college students when they go, because they're going to have a whole lot of stuff as an adult. Is there anything they need to pay attention to? Yeah,
just kind of, those things, making sure that if they're going to be sexually active, that they have their birth control plan, that they know not to drink alcohol, certainly to excess, talking about vaping and avoiding that, things like that. So it's going to be an issue in college, so just to be ready for it.
All right. So if you need to see your doctor, get ready to go back to school. We'll be right back.